Tonight's Mr. Riley Martin. He is the author of The Coming of Tan. Mr. Riley, are you there?
Mr. Riley.
Who am I speaking to?
Jordan.
Jordan, how are you? How are you, Nick?
Hello.
How are you, Big John?
Hey, Okwan Tanzanwa.
Okwan Tanzanwa, Big John, and Lola, my darling.
Hello, dear.
I've been telling Lola you've been wanting to talk to her all day.
Yes, yeah, definitely. My goodness, and I said, don't you worry. If you had a little sniffle or something, it'll be gone by morning because I'll tolerate nothing touching my babes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear.
You got her blushing so much.
Yeah, and Riley, I know Lola. You are exactly Lola's type, by the way. Exactly Lola's type, Riley.
Well, she's beautiful and she's got class.
Oh,
you know, I love that.
This man knows me so well.
So, how is life, Riley?
Well, as good as an old cowboy's life can be, who is underpaid and underfed.
Where are you from, Riley?
I was born in the state of Mississippi, America, raised in northeastern Arkansas. And during the course of my travels in life, I suppose I've circumnavigated the planet, my dear.
Oh.
And beyond.
Do you wear cowboy boots?
No, I do not.
Oh, you should have told her yes.
No, I do not. However, I do wear my moccasins sometimes.
Oh, well.
You know, I've got some Native American, too, you know.
So that, in other words, you walk softly.
Oh,
with
yeah.
a big stick.
Right.
Easy, Lola. Now, Riley, are you Native American? I know you wear the Cherokee headband.
Well. My father and mom, about half and half African American, half Seminole and Cherokee.
Okay.
Put it like that. So I'm about half and half, I suppose.
So have you always been spiritual?
Yeah, it tends to run in the family, especially through my mother.
Yeah.
She has always had powers. Mom could heal you with a hug, a cup of corn shuck tea, or something of that nature. And people would come from all around and ostensibly to pray with her or something like that, or she would touch them and help them and what have you. And I seem to have more or less inherited some of that ability, though I shall never be as angelic as she was. You see what I mean?
Now, do you think this is the reason that you were chosen by the, and I'm hoping I don't butcher the name, but the Biaviians?
Biaviians.
Biaviians.
Well, actually, they did when they landed, when they were there on the river in 1953 at the age of 7. When they came out and started walking me back to the ship, they said, "Friend Martin, don't you remember us? We have come again. Don't you remember us?" I say, I'm looking at them, with them big heads, and I'm saying, "No, who are you? What are you? Who are you?" And they said, "Friend Martin, don't you remember us there near the Tigris and Euphrates, in the valley of Giza, when your ancestors did raise the Pyram in the valley of Giza? Don't you remember us?" And I said, "Oh, it's kind of coming back to me."
You said, "Oh, you," right?
Yeah, right. And so they were not referring to in the present sense, but in times gone past. And I was to discover that the force of life itself is eternal. We've been here a lot of times before.
Yeah.
A lot of times before, and I'm sure that somewhere along the line, I must surely have met the lovely Lola somewhere. You know what I mean, down through history.
Well, if you see how red her face is, she's wishing she met you.
Yes, indeed, and they're called Biaviians. They are from a planet called Biavi. It is located in what we call the Taurus constellation, about 450 light years from Earth. Now, they can cross that distance one way in about 4.5 years as we measure time. which means that they have the ability to run 100 times the speed of light and crossing the vastness of space. They have been coming here since the time of Ezekiel's wheel, Elijah's fiery chariot. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They are recorded in the ancient Sumerian cuneiform, the Egyptian hieroglyphics, and of all other ancient races upon the face of the earth, all the way to the Pacific Rim and the Americas, and you name it. So they are not strangers. They've been coming here all the time.
Now, when you said that the one that met you now, did he give you his name or?
His name is Okwa.
His name is okay.
Okwa Tenzin 1. I call him 10.
Okay. Now, was he? Has he been around since? He said he saw you at the shore of the Nile. He's the same one, or? Well,
I understand that he is roughly 10,000 years of age.
Wow.
As we measure time, so chances are, I knew him back in his younger days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, chances are.
Well, if they travel if they can travel that distance in only 4.5 years, then their time span is entirely different than ours is.
Well, of course, my dear. For instance, eventually you're going to have to get your symbol, my dear. But if you are on their home planet, your lifeline would grow exponentially, which means that you wouldn't be thinking about you'd be going to play golf 4,000 years from now. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they said physical death is really not necessary. However, they did say this: there will come a time when, regardless of that you will choose to not be recloned and say, let me grow old and go to rest. So no matter how long you can live, ultimately there'll come a time when you grow weary of life anyhow and want to rest some. You see what I mean? So then in that sense, life is not infinite to the extent of the physical body itself. No matter how old you may live to be, eventually you'll say, hey, no, don't clone me anymore.
Now, what do you mean clone?
At a certain age, they will take your DNA and begin to clone another body for you.
Really?
Now, but what they will do, Jordan, is they will inhibit the growth of the cerebrum and the cerebellum. Now, they'll leave intact, say, the hypothalamus and the limbic region, as well as some of the occipital factors. However, then they will transplant the present brain into the new body.
Oh.
And you're good for another, 6,000 maybe?
Now, does this happen to everybody, or is this a select few?
No, it happens to everyone who wishes it so, who lives on BRV. They wouldn't do it here, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Because, for one thing, there's too many of us, numerically. And just think of it, if you remain sexually vital for the next 4,000 years.
I would like
Jesus Christ, little Kleinies.
Yeah, listen,
right.
Listen, we don't want any more.
Two towns full of them.
Evidently, you haven't met Jordan. He still isn't. Never mind. Now, have you been to their planet or to their ship, or
no,
have you been
I've
to the ship?
I've been to the mothership.
Oh,
and in this solar
how big
system,
must that be?
in this solar system, I'll get to that.
Okay.
In this solar system, I've been as far out as planet Pluto, and a bit beyond there. Nonetheless, the great mothership itself, in dimensions, it looks like a big old Tiffany egg. A Tiffany egg, and it's 40 kilometers across the middle.
Wow.
That is about 28 miles, and about twice that distance up and down. And it languishes out near the rings of Saturn. It is too fragile to bring into the atmosphere of this planet. So they, shuttles back and forth like that. Smaller ships and what have you. But it's been there since biblical times, really.
Really?
Well, you must feel pretty honored that they would take you aboard the mothership. You might be one of the few.
Well,
I mean, how many people on this planet have traveled into space and
well, I
done
suppose,
it?
there's an old scripture that say, many are called, but few are chosen. I don't think that a lot of people have had that privilege, but I'm by far not the first wayfarer that they've ever had. I mean, they took Ezekiel up, they took, Joshua up, Enoch, they took him up, they took others.
Yeah, but those are pretty substantial names. We're just talking about
otherwise
Joshua and
they're
Ezekiel
substantial,
and
in their own time.
Yeah,
They weren't all of that great.
So do you think that you're called to be a religious leader of some kind?
No, I wouldn't call it religious, my friend.
Okay.
But I believe that if somebody didn't know something about something, heaven and earth would pass away. They are flesh and blood, skin and bone. I do not find him to be so angelic until they are etheric. They have their faults. They have their technical difficulties. They fell at Roswell and some other places.
Was that them?
That was them, as well as the Stygians, who travels with them, the bony kind, the bony guys, tall bony guys.
Yeah.
Now, how many travel with them? Because I was under the impression, is it just the Biaviians or?
No, there are seven intelligent species sharing a common mothership. However,
Wow.
each one of them have their own technologies, so to speak. There is one group called the Dorians that are actually obviously Caucasian. I mean, I think,
So
I love the laugh.
right? They are blonde. They got these blue eyes, and you'd have to get close to him to see that he's really not like a human.
what's the difference?
Well, the difference is that the neck is somewhat elongated. The ears fit close to the profile and run around the jawline. The eyes are larger proportionately, the little bitty peakedy nose and little narrow lips, narrow mouths, and what have you.
Sounds like my ex-husband.
Yeah, and they are telepaths, but they can also, some of them can talk. I mean, like verbally, like if me and you, And so if we are looking back in the history and the chronogenesis of humankind, no one has ever been able to literally explain from a genetic level where everybody came from. Because even though we do share a common genetic bond, there are some different looking people on this planet. You know what I mean? When you get down to, say, Oriental, black, African race, etc., white, etc. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
And what have you. So I do know that they have been mixing with us on a genetic level.
Really?
So, oh, yes, since pre-biblical times. Now, if you will, referring you to, say, an ancient scripture like the Bible, say, for instance, if you're reading Genesis from the house of Adam, it will tell you that, and in those days, there were people who lived 6, 7, 8, 900 years. You understand? Mm-hmm. Down through Methuselah, Joshua, all of those. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if they knew how to build pyramids, do animal husbandry, and irrigate the Fertile Crescent, they knew what a damn year was, didn't they?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So as the bloodline diffused out upon the earth, then the lifespan once again dwindled to become shorter, like it is now. But even today, son, you live longer than your great-grandfather did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so you, at the age of, how old were you when you went first time?
7.
7, okay. Since then, how many times have you went back and forth?
3 times.
Okay, now because I've always wanted to know, what exactly is it like in the ship? What happens?
Oh, Jesus Christ. It boggles the brain just thinking about it. I mean, if you, when we were approaching the ship, we slowed down to, say, about 10,000 clicks an hour. And
that's slow.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, oh, we're going to hit it. I didn't see any big doors opening or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was saying, hey, we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it. Slow it down. Hey, where's the brakes? Slow it down, you know. And before I could develop a blood-curdling scream, something happened like this. Like the shutter of a camera. We were in.
Wow.
Yeah. And stopped from 10,000 to 0 in 1/10 of a second. Yet you felt no sensation of G or centrifugal force. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what have you. This is because of their propulsion system, which possibly we'll get into a little later here. But all I'm saying is that now, after you enter that third door, the first door, they don't want the atmosphere to escape. So the door opens only wide enough for your ship and closes immediately. Then that's the area where, as far as the eye can see, you see ships in dry dock. They're working on them, robots, crews, etc., etc., as far as the eye can see until it curves. On the next inside level, you'll find the tech people, the big timers that running the fusion reactors and things of this nature, and etc., and then the cooking the food and preparing the foods and etc., etc. Then on the inside, when you get to the third door, you stand and you look out, and you behold a new world. You look up. You can't see the top, and you'll see birds flying through the distance. You look down, you can't see the bottom, and if you look out further, you'll see 3 levitating, domed gardens floating out there in the middle. No doubt people by whoever they are in there. And then around, there's a stair, for instance, like in the airport, that goes round and round and round and round and round and round, round, on upward and round the other way going downward. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And these are floors. And you can hear the drum, the low humming of the great fusion reactors and things like this. If you jump off, you seem like you're probably never going to hit the ground. That's if you jump over there. So the thing is so awesome, and you will see tens of thousands of individuals of various different alien races going here and there, levitating cars, etc., etc., free-flying birds, all of these type of things. And heavens to Betsy. You know? and on top of that, in 2004, my book was written some 22 years ago.
Uh-huh.
In 2004, the Cassini space rocket started taking photos of some great luminous object out near the rings of Saturn. Now, because they farm out a lot of their stuff, few of the pictures got out.
Yeah.
And they could not explain it. You know, it's not a star, it's not a meteor, it's static in one place. Into a little later here. But all I'm saying is that now, after you enter that third door, the first door, they don't want the atmosphere to escape. So the door opens only wide enough for your ship and closes immediately. Then that's the area where, as far as the eye can see, you see ships in dry dock. They're working on them, robots, crews, etc., etc., as far as the eye can see until it curves. On the next inside level, you'll find the tech people, the big timers that running the fusion reactors and things of this nature, and etc., and then the cooking the food and preparing the foods and etc., etc. Then on the inside, when you get to the third door, you stand and you look out, and you behold a new world. You look up, you can't see the top, and you'll see birds flying through the distance. You look down, you can't see the bottom, and if you look out further, you'll see 3 levitating, domed gardens floating out there in the middle. No doubt people by whoever they are in there. And then around, there's a stair, for instance, like in the airport, that goes round and round and round and round and round and round, 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 on upward and round the other way going downward. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And these are floors. And you can hear the thrum, the low humming of the great fusion reactors, and things like this. If you jump off, you seem like you're probably never going to hit the ground. That's if you jump over there. So the thing is so awesome, and you will see tens of thousands of individuals of various different alien races going here and there, levitating cars, etc., etc., free-flying birds, all of these type of things. And heavens to Betsy. You know? and on top of that, in 2004, my book was written some 22 years ago.
Uh-huh.
In 2004, the Cassini space rocket started taking photos of some great luminous object out near the rings of Saturn. Now, because they farm out a lot of their stuff, few of the pictures got out.
Yeah.
And they could not explain it. You know, it's not a star, it's not a meteor, it's static in one place, and it's self-illuminated, blah, 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 blah. But I told them what damn chip was 2 decades ago.
Yeah, well, how did they respond to you telling them that?
What they have done is decided not to kill me.
That's always good.
Right.
That's a plus.
And let him talk. You know?
Now, I got a question real quick from the chat room.
Okay.
Barb asks, why do you think that they brought you back?
Oh, well, I learned in 1953 that Mother Earth is in a lot of trouble and heading hell-bent for leather towards destruction by our own hands. Somebody has to come back and give this information to the people as best we possibly can. Now, all of these things will be explained to you in the book. You got to go to RileyMartin.com, RileyMartin.com. Get the book. Won't cost you that much. And it will explain many, many of the questions you ask. But I am by far not the only person who has ever been taken. It's been happening for all the written history of humanity as far as that is concerned.
Uh-huh.
But nobody ever listened to anybody before, did they? You know.
Yeah,
and thus we have suffered many great adversities and near extinctions down through history.
Humans don't really listen that well.
Right. Now, this one will make the Holocaust look like child's play. So, therefore, it is best that a person take note and listen. At least listen. Because our destiny is in our hands. We do not have to kill somebody to get the oil to run your car. We can run your car without using oil. We can light your cities without using fossil fuels and all of this. We have the ability to not destroy this planet. You understand?
Oh, yeah, totally.
But, of course, it's not going to switch that quickly. But if we gave it the old college try, then I believe they would help us, as they have on occasion down through history.
Like, what are some of the occasions where they've helped us?
Dr. Joseph Salk, Jonas Salk, George Washington Carver, Gandhi, King, Kennedy. What I'm saying is that they didn't just land at the White House and say, hey, do this, but somebody got a bright idea, Nikola Tesla, about AC current instead of DC current.
Yeah.
Somebody said, wow, I believe I can use penicillin to stop the polio.
So you're saying the
I'm saying that
gave them
on a telepathic level and even a genetic level, they have down through the ages imbued certain people with concepts like E equals MC squared.
Yeah, so instead of start parking and going, here's what you need to do, it's kind of a nudge this way,
right,
nudge
right,
that
right.
way. Okay, much more
like a muse.
Right, they couldn't come over and do lunch with them big heads. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. But there have been those who said, "Oh, okay, if you do it this way, you can stop this polio epidemic, or you can do this or that, or blah blah blah." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came right in the nick of time, did they not? Just like the Black Plague and what have you. Someone came along and said, "Hey, maybe it's germs doing this. Maybe it's the fleas." You know?
Yeah.
So we have been retrieved in various different manners, much of which we cannot necessarily count it off to our own magnanimity or what have you.
Now, Riley, I got a question on how they look, and because like in depth, you get so many different stories of they look like this, they look like this.
Well, I can tell you what mine look like.
Let me yeah, that's what I want to know what your friends look like.
The typical Biavian male, like Tan, he will stand about 4 feet tall, maybe 4'2", 4'3". The tallest one is about 4'4". He will weigh about 35 kilos, or about 80 pounds. The cranial structure is larger in proportion with the body, it would seem. There are no ear flaps, though there are little holes there where the ears should be. The eyes are larger in proportion, and what have you, small nose, almost flat to the profile, small lip, baby-like teeth. The upper torso is well-formed. However, the arms are somewhat elongated, the fingertips stretching almost down to the knees. Biavians have 4 fingers, that is the thumb, and the next 3 fingers. The hip structure is strong, the lower legs somewhat spindly, the feet are kind of flat and splayed, and they walk with an easy motion instead of being hyper. The reason I say that is I put my head to his chest. His heart rate is about twice that of a human's, about 160 beats per minute. However, they do not express hyperness, so to speak. There are no hair follicles on the body. However, there are pores. Now, Biavians range in skin complexion from olive black to chalk white, and all the colors in between. That is the browns, the reds, the yellows, the whites, etc. Blah blah blah. You see what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the male. Female is the same, except several inches shorter, generally. These are Biavians. Of course, now they got some more stuff on that ship that's real whacked out, man, if you're looking at it.
Well, what do they look like?
Well, there are 7 intelligent species. Biavian hair follicles on the body. However, there are pores. Now, Biavians range in skin complexion from olive black to chalk white, and all the colors in between. That is the browns, the reds, the yellows, the whites, etc. Blah blah blah. You see what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the male. Female is the same, except several inches shorter, generally. These are Biavians. Of course, now they got some more stuff on that ship that's real whacked out, man, if you're looking at it.
Well, what do they look like?
Well, there are 7 intelligent species. Biavians, the ones I say, that I know best. Stygians. Yeah, Stygians that travel with the Biavians are the brainiacs. They are tall, leathery type skinned, somewhat bony-like, and all that, and may stand 6 feet or above.
Wow.
Third groups are called Dorians. Dorians ones, if you see them, a bunch of them sitting eating or something, you could just say it was a bunch of blonde white people. But upon closer inspection, you can see a difference, and they look so much alike until I surmise that they are probably an engineered race. Now, I could be wrong. A third group called the Targzians. Fourth group, rather, Targzians. Targzians are obviously reptilian.
Obviously.
Smart reptiles.
Yeah.
So to speak. They'll stand anywhere from 5.5 to 6 feet tall, and they have soft, scaly skin and reptile eyes, and I don't really like them.
Yeah, which ones were? I just got a phone call there, Mr. Martin. Which ones were the blonde hair, blue-eyed ones?
Dorians.
Dorians.
I call
Okay.
them Dorians.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dorians. And there's another group, short, stocky, blue of skin, called Neptunians. Neptunians are from a high-gravity planet, and they are essentially water people, so to speak. These were your Nemons of the ancient Dogons and all this. Next group are called Screed. These are smart insects.
Right.
They are a cross between praying mantis and locusts, put it like that. They stand as high as 5 feet tall, highly technical, and they are here. And then there's a seventh group. This group is formless. Take take something like a test tube, turn it upside down, fill it with a pink liquid that's got an eye floating in it. and a metal bottom on it. Now that's the seventh group. Their name is so digital until I cannot call it. But these are the seven that shares that common mothership. But they are by far not the only ones visiting this planet.
All right.
Now let me ask you.
Can we go to the phone lines real quick? Yeah, let's go to Bill from Wheeling, Mr. Martin. Bill from Wheeling. Oh, I whacked him. Hold on.
Bill, call back.
Hold on, Bill. Hold on. All right, so let me call him back. I don't know how I did that.
Now, I've
used his phone a million times.
I have a quick question while he's calling him back here. You said you didn't like the reptilian race, the Targzians, if I'm saying that name right. Are you there?
No, we're getting him back.
I thought
he's
I
gone.
thought you lost Bill from
I thought you
Wheeling.
probably.
No, that's
yeah.
what I thought I did, and
like,
he is gone. Let me get him back for you. I'll get him back.
See
There
what
we go.
happens.
There we go.
We invite John into
It's
the
ringing.
studio, and
He's ringing back.
we invite him in, and he just
Sorry.
dumps our guest.
Riley, we lost you. Yeah. Hold on, Riley. Lost you. Put you right back on the air. Hold on. Riley is locked in. That was my Hamish fingers knocking Riley off. Riley, I apologize.
Right, I know that.
Totally my fault. I got these big ham hocks.
I know that I'm uninteresting and boring, but I didn't think you'd hang up on me.
No, that was my fat finger. All right, now we have Bill from Wheeling, Riley. I apologize.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Oh, I can't begin to tell you what a true honor this is to talk to. I've never got to speak with anybody of your stature, sir.
Well, thank you, Bill. I mean, it's my honor, really.
I'm telling you, like, I've been sitting here for probably the last half hour, and I feel like no one with your stature's ever called into the station, and I feel like this power over Wheeling tonight, and I wanted to thank you for that, too.
Oh, beautiful.
These guys have done this show for a long time, and I listen every week.
Thank
and,
you.
It's just something new tonight. I don't know what it is, Riley. I think it's just you being on the line. But, man, I listen to your show all the time on satellite radio. I know you were underpaid by tens of thousands of dollars, sir.
They're starving me out, kid, but the heavens forbid that I should find out how popular I am, which is what they think.
They pay a guy $500 million, and they can't even pay you $20,000 a week for one show, you know? I mean,
no. Well, I mean, otherwise they don't do that simply because I am not one who has done some B-grade movies, nor have I got caught screwing the makeup girl in the hole. Neither have I been dropping loads on some of the rest of the guys. You know what I mean? So I'm not famous enough, and therefore they got me cheap. You see what I mean?
Hey, but I want you to know you hang in there, man, because I look up to you. But if I can ask you one thing, and I'm being serious about this. As you know, there's a guy on that show that's been really sick recently, and
Artie.
Yeah. I mean, we've lost some great comedians in our time, like Belushi, Gauss, Carney.
Right.
You know, guys like Farley. And,
yes.
Do you think that he's going to go by the wayside? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm my good man. I love Artie. I'm just hoping from my heart. I've been trying to get through to him. I've been trying to contact him to have him to call me. I'm worried about him. Yes, I'm worried about him.
That's what I was hoping tonight. Right. I was trying to get to you. If you could get a hold of him, I think you are the one guy that can sit down with him, talk to him, and set him straight.
I'd bring him over here and sit his big ass down, talk to him and feed him, and just talk to him, and he'd be all right because he'd be out of the mix of the devilish things that goes on. You see what I mean?
I do. I'm shaking right now, Riley.
But I can save a person from bad men. I can even save a person probably from demons. But there's only one thing I cannot save them from.
Himself.
Themselves. You see what I mean?
And he has some dark demons, and hopefully you can get a hold of him, sir.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, otherwise I would love to. Look, he don't have to give me not one dime. Nothing. I don't want nothing from him.
Nothing but a hug.
Yeah, just a hug and his attention. Just sit and talk. Let's talk. Let's eat some beans. Sit and talk with me. You know, otherwise I wish I could help. I do. I really do. Breaks my heart because he's one of the greatest among them.
It's been an honor. I'll let the other guys get in tonight.
Hey,
well, thank you, good man. Thanks for calling. Give my love to the family.
I will, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bill from Wheeling. Thank you for the call.
Thanks for the call, Bill.
Artie, of course, is Artie Lang, who was found, was it this morning?
No, it's been a week now. Yeah, he was released this morning.
Released this morning.
Yeah.
Well, bless his heart. I hope he's going to be okay.
Yep, absolutely. You know, it's just when you think people are cleaning themselves up, and drugs are an awful demon to try to kill.
Well, sure, I know, good man. I'm aware.
Now, Riley, I want to ask: have you met any other humans, I guess, aboard the ship on your travels? Because here's why I asked: I've talked to other contactees, and they said that they meet people there.
Well, in 1953, I saw another gentleman. There, but he was like, at that time, he was in his 50s, and we did not actually talk to each other. He was across the way. Also, I'm firmly convinced that I walked and talked with a gentleman by the name of Nikola Tesla aboard that great mothership, though I did not know it at the time until I looked in an encyclopedia later, you know, what have you. So, but I'm sure there must be other humans there. But there's only so much finite time you have, because I would generally stay there from anywhere from 3 to, say, 7 days. And they were teaching me what I should know. You know what I mean?
Sure. Now, another question from the chat room. And actually, we have a couple, but I think I can combine them. So, you know, what communication, you know, what messages have they given him? And someone else asked, you know, what would happen to the Earth, you know, if we do, you know, if we, you know, humans, you know, don't, you know, listen to this message you have. And how did you get the message too?
Well, it's like this. Well, otherwise, they give it to me more or less telepathically in their presence. Nonetheless, the aliens should not have to talk to you to let you know which way we're headed.
Oh, of course.
Now, take into consideration, let's say, overpopulation, famine, wars and rumors of wars, cutting of the rainforests, melting of the poles, poisoning of the water tables, nuclear power, fission, wayward warheads, you name it, new diseases, etc., vectors, and all of these things. If we would devote our time and our efforts to cleaning up the Gaia, and to helping the sick of the world and things of this nature, well, we would be a lot better. Reforestation, you name it, we'd be a lot better off. Instead of chasing the mighty buck, putting your mother out of her house that she's been in for 3 generations, closing the factory down and leaving with $400 million bonuses.
Yeah.
And what have you. If we would devote our lives to something besides thievery, gluttony, wars, dope, then we could make a better world. But if we don't do it, we're heading towards what is inevitable that's going to be as a result of such iniquitous continuum. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what have you. So you should be able to figure that out yourself to some extent. The Biaviians didn't have to just tell me what they thought they would, so that ultimately I could write the documentation and then start to verbally pass it along to those who would listen.
Well, are they getting to the point where they're ready to throw their hands up and say, you know what, these people have messed this planet up for, eons of years, and nobody's paying attention now? To hell with them.
Right. I mean, otherwise, because they do feel, my darling Lola, they feel somewhat responsible for us, because before their time, we were little more than migrant hunter-gatherers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, we are into astronomy, animal husbandry, irrigation, building great edifices. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gave us the ideas, and so now it's kind of like...
as well, to some extent, the neurological power, and all of this because in those days there were giants in the lands, and these sons of the gods looked upon the daughters of men and found them fair, and took of them wives, and their sons became of old great men of a renown. So therefore the first great kings and things of this nature, those Elohim, so to speak, were the ones who kicked all this crap off, being children of those long-lived visitors. They never would have mixed if they hadn't got trapped here,
Now, I have to ask you this. Everybody's been talking about, and the movie just came out 2012. You've been hearing about it forever.
Right.
December 21st, 2012. It's supposed to be, catastrophic day. Anything about that? Did they tell you anything about that?
Right. According to my reckoning, this planet will reach terminal saturation around that time. However, I have been asked to withhold my complete synopsis of what I am going to learn until May 9, 2012. At which time I will reveal all that I know about all things that's going down, period. Nonetheless, 2012 is a pivotal point in the either destruction or ascension of the human species.
So you could be like our end-of-time savior.
Well, I mean, otherwise I would say, hey, man, don't smack that big guy because he's going to kick your ass.
Now, here's
otherwise, you know what I mean? I could say, hey, please don't stand in front of that train.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you're going to die.
Now, why May 9th? Why that date?
Well, actually, it just happens to be my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Great day then.
Deductive reasoning. I got a question. Like, we've only got like 10 minutes left, and I want to hit this. While you were in, I don't want to say being abducted, while you were taken, did they do anything? Because I've been told from other contactees that most of the abductions are all based sexually.
No, I did get into some sexual things. Nonetheless, it was fun.
So this was your choice.
It was there. It had hybrid women there.
So it's not like the...
but however, then I have some kids. However, I want to say to you, my darling Lola.
Yes.
Even though I have jumped through the light factor out across the voids of space, and had the ignominious pleasure of having touched tenderly a number of hybrid women. I have found nothing out there, nor seen anything in the cosmos that would move me like you, my darling.
She has turned as red as a stop sign at this point.
Oh my goodness, that was good. Yeah, I have to admit that.
Boy, I was just sucking that right in. I'm telling you.
Now you were given symbols. You were shown symbols, and I know you've given symbols to people. And I know I remember watching on Jerry Springer. You had a symbol for him that kind of told him about his past life. Now, what about Lola?
Well, I won't give statistics on the air. However, if she so desires, go to RowdyMartin.com. And, Lola, if you don't got no money, I will still do your symbol.
Okay.
But I will like to know your immediate chronology. For instance, my father and mother are African-American and Native American.
Okay.
And if, say, for instance, my father is Irish, my mother is dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all I need. And, if at all possible, a photo, a copy of a photo.
Okay.
And I'll gladly do your symbol. And then, if you want to reveal anything about your symbol to these nosy guys, then you can feel free to do so.
It's out of love, Riley.
All right, Riley.
Now, did you?
And also give them a website now. People to go there and get your books, RileyMartin.com. That's spelled RileyMartin.com.
Okay.
Get your books. You can get the talking book in my voice, or you can get the written book.
I think I want that.
Yeah, and you can get the written book, and you can also get your symbol, and then realize that the symbol you get will be the original. There is no other one exactly like it on the face of this planet.
And you have to say the talking Raleigh Martin bobblehead, which I think is very cool.
Oh, yeah, well, there are a number of products there. But these are the ones who are going to be very, very implementary to your well-being.
Now, I was told that one of your best sellers is a bucket.
Yeah, a jug.
A jug? Like a trucker jug?
Yeah, well, otherwise,
Yeah.
get caught out on the highway in a traffic jam, having drank a six-pack, and you will get you a jug.
There you go.
Very creative, Riley.
Yeah, right.
A giant trucker bomb.
It's utilitarian, son. You know, sounds funny, but it's a necessity.
Oh, yeah.
It's a necessity to a guy.
Yeah, you really don't explode.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, Riley, I want to let you know on our website, whispersradio.com, we have your website linked up and a big picture of your book on there that all people have to do is click on it and it'll go right to the order page.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. And on top of that, I like you guys.
Oh, we like you too.
And so I'd like to do some more with you at some point in the future.
Oh, we'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
Call me, if at all possible. Call me up, and if at all possible, I'll gladly be honored to do your show anytime because we got a lot to talk about.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we barely touched the surface.
We haven't even scratched the surface of the surface.
And I want to tell you, our boss here is running the board right now, John, and he runs our morning show, and I'm sure that you'd have a blast doing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I have John to, if you will. What's his name, Blackmore?
Blackmore.
Blackmore, okay.
Yeah, we'll contact you and get you on one of these mornings coming up here.
Well, I mean, otherwise,
awesome.
John, I love you now, but it has to fit in with when I can come on.
Oh, I understand. Believe me, we'll set it up way in advance.
But still do so.
Sure.
And give my love to all of the families. And take care and have a marvelous year.
Well, before we go, I'm sure you picked up some of the language.
Right.
Can you say anything in
Biavian?
Yeah, Biavian.
Well, actually, when you say the words "Qua omsa lajuan," roughly it translates as all praises unto the light. All praises unto the light. Olana takapakaratu. wishing you well and may many blessings be on to you, and so forth.
Wow. And how long did it take you to learn that?
Oh, well, if you're around them, because telepathy is more or less symbiotic. It just kind of soaks in, and you can hear them talking, and what have you, and he'll explain what he meant. And over time, you'll pick up a little bit. I don't speak it fluently.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Okay.
Kind of immersion.
And Tan, his what? How was his name?
Okwa Tenzin Wan.
Got it.
Does that mean something, or?
Yeah. I think it means something like first son.
First son.
First son of the light. Something like that.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah, definitely. And
now, did they give you any kind of name or anything itself, or did they just call you Riley?
Yeah. What is your Peruvian name?
go to Biavian name.
Biavian,
Go to
Peruvian. I don't know.
Yeah. Go to wayfarerexchange.com, and there is a symbol there called the Umsa Trinexus, and below that, in the explanation of it, is my ancient name. I don't necessarily talk about it much.
Okay.
But it'll give you the, more or less the name.
See,
okay?
if I had an ancient name, I'd tattoo it to my back.
Well, I will give you one of your ancient names if you ever get your symbol. Always.
Actually, Jordan needs it tattooed to his arm so he can remember who he is at times.
Oh, Quantangen Wong! I got you.
Yes, indeed. And hey, it's been a real pleasure, kid.
It's been great.
Thank you.
We've had a lot of fun.
We can't wait to have you back.
Yeah.
You're
that
gonna...
would be great. And take care, Lola. You're going to be fine, my darling.
Thank you.
I tell you what, you've made that girl
Riley.
blush more than Barry Fitzgerald did from Ireland.
I think she's stuck in permanent blush at this point.
Son, when the day comes, is that the day comes that I do not love beautiful women. Just throw the dirt on my butt.
Hey,
right.
Riley, got another call. Our good buddy Sammy the Bull wants you to say hi to him out there.
Okay.
You got to say hi, Sammy the Bull.
Oh, hello. Hi, Sammy the Bull.
Very good.
awesome.
He's out
He's
there
working,
listening.
I'm sure.
He's working tonight hard. All right.
All right, Riley Martin, thank you very much. It's RileyMartin.com. And get his book, The Coming of Tan.
The Coming of Tan, and to get your symbols, people, and take care, kids, and it's been a pleasure.
Hey,
Thank you, Riley.
Thank you, Riley.
Bye, Riley.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.